Okay, thank you all for being here this evening. Okay, could you call the roll?
Harold,
Here.
Hollenbach,
Here.
Leontis,
Present.
Phipps,
Here.
Robinette,
Here.
Roland,
Here.
Zanfordino.
Okay. Okay, thank you all for being here this evening. Okay, could you call the roll? Someone's got their sound on.
Harold,
Here.
Hollenbach,
Here.
Leontis,
Present.
I'm a ventriloquist.
It helps to have a mask, doesn't
It does, you can't see my lips.
That's up.
All right, we good again?
we're good.
We're good.
Awesome, this is so exciting. Okay, let's see. The minutes from our last meeting have been distributed. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from our August 17th meeting? Okay. Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The minutes are approved. Correspondence. Kay, do we have correspondence this evening?
Yes, I have a few items this evening. Distributed to you prior to the meeting was the financial budget summary report for both the months of July and August, and that's just a note for the record. And then also before you, you have budget transfers to be made for the month of September, and those require your approval, please.
I move to accept the budget transfers.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay,
And then also distributed to you on Friday via the email and also in front of you this evening is a board and commission appointment requested by Mayor Osbacher. He's requesting confirmation of the appointment of Tom Strigo for a 2-year term ending 5/31/22 to the Tree Commission. And that requires a motion and a voice vote.
I move to appoint Mr. Strigo to the commission.
Second.
all right. Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. Thank you, Mr. Strigo.
And that's all I have this evening.
Okay. That brings us to lobby visitations. Do we have anyone that signed up for lobby visitations?
Yes, the first person we have is Chris Douglas.
Could you please state your name and your address for the record, please?
Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Douglas. I've actually provided my address here.
Thank you.
Of course. I would first like to take a moment to thank those of you that watched alongside our brave Emmett Till virtual vigil. We felt it is vital to recognize the 65th anniversary of his lynching, as it is far too recent history. We had a segment that educated our viewers about the life and legacy of both Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till Mobley. This was followed by an interview portion where we interviewed Miles Johnson, owner of Styles by Miles, Martha Chandra Dickerson, a university employee, and Deontay Shivers, owner of Trigger Meals. In case you missed it, the video can be found on our Facebook page @BGBrave. I encourage you all to watch it as it explores the impact that Emmett Till continues to have today. I would also like to take a moment to inform City Council of the voter registration efforts Brave has been taking on. We are working with the League of Women Voters, Black Student Union, and some city officials to encourage voter registration. We will be promoting voter registration virtually until the deadline of October 5th. In addition to this, we are planning a special event where members of the community could register to vote. We will provide more details about this event at the next City Council meeting, along with on our Facebook page. Once again, that is @BGBrave. Brave is looking forward to helping residents become a bigger part of their local democracy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Lindsay Durham.
Again, if you could state your name and hand Kay your address for the record.
My name is Lindsay Durham, and I also have my address.
Thank you.
I'm here once again as a part of BRAVE, which stands for Black Rights, Activism, Visibility, and Equity for those who may not be aware. The last time I spoke, I asked for a special meeting to be held regarding the racial disparities that exist in Bowling Green, much like the one that was held regarding the mask mandate. Black people make up 5.97% of the population of our community, yet they constitute 13% of citations and 20% of arrests. These skewed statistics should be troubling to everyone in our community, as they certainly are troubling to Black people. I ask once again that a special meeting be called to address these concerns and other concerns that Black people in Bowling Green have. We cannot continue to push these issues aside. The last time I spoke, I also urged City Council to do more to educate themselves on the issues Black people face. Councilman Leontis noted that he was putting together a reading list for his fellow City Council members, which I think is a great step. I'd first like to thank Councilman Leontis for putting together such a list and ask if you've had an opportunity to finalize this list, and would you be able to post it on the City Council website? Be able to answer. Oh, I can't hear you.
I think you're muted.
Yes, I've been working on that among other things, and I will be sharing that with everybody. Yes.
Perfect. Once you've all had the opportunity to read these books, the members of BRAVE would welcome the opportunity to discuss the information in these books with you, share related experiences, and answer any questions you may have. I commend those that have taken on the challenge of educating themselves regarding issues they may never face. It is this attitude of thinking outside oneself that will truly bring our community closer together and more welcoming for everyone. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Okay, is that
And
it or?
no, one more. Elijah McKnight.
Again, same drill, name and address for the record.
Hello, my name is Elijah McKnight, and my address is 920 Klotz Road. I am here today representing BRAVE, and I would like to first start off by saying thank you to those who tuned in to our Emmett Till showing. It just means a lot to us when you guys are involved in the things that we do. I wanted to first start off by saying also thank you, Mr. Leontis, for that for exemplifying efforts towards our cause by providing us with that list. And so what I would like to do is I would like to pass out these pins to everyone in City Council.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You want to give them to me for the ones that aren't here? Okay.
And so that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Is that it for lobby visitations?
That is it.
Brings
Mr.
us
President,
yes, go ahead.
yeah, I'd just like to thank the young people for coming and for keeping these issues in front of us. There's a lot of more work we need to do. We did pass a resolution, but that resolution just committed us to doing some substantial things. That was a statement just to get us started. And now we've got to start looking at the detailed things we need to be doing. And I want to urge the young people to keep on top of us. Don't let us slide. Thank you.
Let's see, that brings us to the introduction of new legislation.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
on behalf of the Finance Committee, I have a resolution transferring previously appropriated funds and an ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2020 and ending December 31st, 2020.
Mr. President? Nicholas, you want me to introduce the public utilities?
He's muted again.
Neocles, you're going to have to unmute yourself.
Or speak really loud?
Yeah, I see on the list number 2 also from the Finance Committee. Was that also introduced? I'm sorry.
Yes, it was.
Okay, I missed that. I'm sorry. So then number 3, there's an ordinance eliminating fund numbers 5226, 5336, 5338 as no longer necessary for municipal budgeting and accounting purposes, and removing chapter 53 from our codified ordinances regarding gas service, and amending section 35.17 regarding these funds in the codified ordinances of our city. And then we have number 4, which is an ordinance authorizing the utilities director to enter into a contract with Morlock Paving. And this will not require advertising and bidding, as we've also, as was explained in the documentation. Now, I understand that the emergency clause will be voted on September 21st, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
So at this point, we're just doing a first reading. Is that right?
You are correct again.
Okay. And then finally, there's an ordinance accepting an easement from Mr. Kamaluddin and Ms. Ahmed for utility purposes.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so that brings us to official reports, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening. I have just a couple of items. First of all, as you're aware, due to some email communication, there has been a request from the council-appointed Sustainability Committee. Actually, the council created Sustainability Committee in 2019, and the members, of course, were appointed by Mayor Edwards. So the request from the Sustainability Committee has been for an extension for the time to complete their work. They have just been unable to meet as a group due to the restrictions on group meetings and other COVID-related matters. So after checking with council members, I have communicated to Jody Anderson, the chair of that committee, that we have agreed to the extension, and we have agreed that a reasonable period for them to complete their work will be the first quarter of 2020. Also, in regards to the Sustainability
Mr.
Committee,
Mayor, you said.
I'm sorry,
first quarter?
21.
Okay.
2021. Yes, thank you, Bill. Also, one of the members of the Sustainability Committee, Andrea Depinet, has resigned from the committee due to time constraints or conflicts. And this evening, I'm appointing Nick Hennessy to take her place on the commission. As many of you are aware, Dr. Hennessy works in the Bowling Green State University Office of Campus Sustainability. So I think that he will be an excellent addition to the commission, and we're thankful for his service. This evening, I'm grateful for the opportunity to share what I think is a really important achievement recently announced by Chief Moorman. So the announcement this evening is that our Bowling Green Fire Division has been awarded the 2020 Mission Lifeline Silver Plus Award for pre-hospital cardiac care by the American Heart Association. This award is a result of a combined superior performance by paramedics in the division. Firefighter paramedic Brandon Westerman organized the effort, briefing division personnel on the criteria needed to achieve the recognition, and then analyzed all pertinent EMS responses from 2019 to complete the data for AHA to demonstrate the Bowling Green Fire Department does in fact excel in the set criteria. There are 5 measures looked at by the American Heart Association for this award. Measures 1 through 4 must be achieved by a score of 75% or higher, and for all 4 quarters in the year to achieve the silver designation, which is the highest level that can be achieved in the first year of review. The 5th measure, also known as the plus measure, must also be achieved by a score of 75% or greater in order to qualify for the plus designation. Chief Moorman has informed me that he fully intends to complete the Gold Plus designation application in 2021, and I'm very confident that the Fire Division will attain that level of recognition next year. There are approximately 88 agencies recognized at the Silver Plus or Gold Plus level in Ohio. Of those, only 5 of these agencies are in Northwest Ohio region: Bowling Green, Huron, Perkins Township, Sandusky County EMS, and Sandusky County Fire Department. So I just want to publicly thank our fire division for their continued good work and certainly firefighter paramedic Brendan Westerman for taking the initiative to organize the data. I just think that this is representative of the consistent, high-quality efforts of our fire and our paramedic personnel. And really, at the end of the day, is I think what this tells us, that if you are so unfortunate to experience a cardiac event at your home in Bowling Green, Ohio, you have a much greater chance of surviving based on the skill and dedication of our firefighters. So I'm thankful this evening to recognize their contribution, not only for this important recognition, but for all the work that they do each and every day. That completes my report, unless you have any questions for me.
Are there any questions for the mayor?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a question or a comment. And I'm quite concerned. We did receive a communication from a couple of faculty members at the university. They raised questions, specific questions of the university administration, which I think pertains to the city as a whole. I have also asked those same questions in repeated emails to the administration. I've not received a response either in my capacity as a faculty member or as a member of city council. So I'd like to ask for your help. And since you are in regular communication with the president, there was a press release, but it was from the office, but it did not address specifically those questions. It did not give us the necessary transparency. And the reason for concern is that a week ago, we had about 20 cases in Bowling Green, and we're talking, of course, documented. Of course, there's many more than 20, but the point is that it went from 20 to 40 within just a week. And we know that the amount of testing is not adequate. The university is not adequately surveilling asymptomatic persons. So the spread, we could be at the beginning of a real outbreak on campus. And we're not doing enough testing to know if to confirm that, but just the numbers we have indicate there's probably hundreds of cases already on campus. And then that poses a threat to the city and to the people in the city. So I'm just hoping that you're staying on top of that. And if you would, I would like to email you some questions I got from other faculty members. You already have the questions from Professor Shockett. And if you could help us communicate those and ask for specific responses so we can increase the transparency. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deacles. I will tell you that, of course, I remain concerned about COVID and its effect on our community. As I have said consistently from the beginning of this experience, the city will continue to take its cues and make its decisions based on the advice from scientists and healthcare experts. I have every confidence to believe that Bowling Green State University is doing the same thing. I do believe that the process and the protocol that they have in place was considered greatly, and they consulted healthcare experts and scientists at both the local, the state, and the national level. So I do believe that they are committed to doing what they can do to monitor and control the spread of COVID on campus and in our community. I do stay in regular contact with President Rogers. In fact, I spoke with him this morning. I believe that we both are committed to doing all that we can do to do those things, accomplish those goals, understand the challenges in front of us, and do everything that we can do to control the spread in our community. So I'll be happy to see the questions that perhaps you might want to forward to me. I'll take those under advisement, and given an opportunity, we'll discuss them with President Rogers.
So once again, the questions, you already have most of them, but I will send you a few additional. They're very specific. It's about the numbers. I hope you're right, but what we need is to see the numbers so we can all verify that where the progress of the pandemic is. That's what we're asking for, more transparency. That's all we're asking for. You may be completely right, and I'm not questioning that. I don't have the numbers to be able to question that, but we do need to see the numbers, and we're not seeing the numbers.
Well, yeah, we'll continue to ask the same questions. Honestly, I'm not in a position to speak to whether or not the university is being fully transparent or not. Frankly, I have no reason to believe that they are not. Again, I remain to have faith in President Rogers' commitment to the students and the Bowling Green State University and the greater Bowling Green community. I continue to have faith in Ben Beatty and his role now as the chief health officer for the campus. There is definitely continuous learning that takes place by all of us. And frankly, I'm going to continue to do the things that I've done. I'm going to take my cues from the public health experts and the scientists. And as data becomes available to us, we'll do our best to analyze it. And again, our end goal is to make sure that we're doing all that we can do to communicate with our residents, to educate our residents, and to control as best we can the spread in the community. I should also say that I'm in communication with officials at Wood County Hospital. I'm monitoring very closely their relevant data in terms of the patients. And at this point, we have not, thank God, seen a significant number of COVID positive patients in Wood County Hospital. Of course, that has been a concern from the very beginning, that our healthcare infrastructure could potentially get overwhelmed by the presence of COVID patients sick enough to be hospitalized. We continue to be thankful for the fact that that does not yet appear to be the case in our community. And I'd like to think that that's in part because of our strategy, once again, taking cues and making decisions based on advice from the scientists and the healthcare experts, and we're communicating and educating our residents continuously, and we will continue to do those things. Thank you.
Municipal Administrator, Ms. Tretter.
Good evening. Update on our Maple Street project. Progress continues to be made, and paving is expected within the next month on there. You can check out other details of the progress from that project and other projects here in the city on our website at our capital projects section that we put up just a few months ago, and we keep that updated. Also from Public Works, just note that the window is open for brush collection. Citizens can call in, but they can also go to our website and sign up right there to have their address. That is for anybody who gets refuse and recycling collection from the city. They are eligible to sign up for the brush collection. But again, they must do so by September 14th. That's for efficiency and for fuel savings and being more sustainable, going to addresses that have the brush. Another note is that on Wednesday, September 16th from 4 to 5, there will be a virtual public meeting about the Campbell Hill Wooster Alumni Roundabout. The details are on our website of how one can log into that virtual meeting. Couple notes about your legislative packet tonight for your consideration. We are requesting that Resolution 3775 be given its third reading. That may have already been noted. I apologize, I meant to look that up. But we do need to get that application in, so we would appreciate your consideration. And the ordinance that was introduced this evening for the Utilities Director to contract with Morlock Paving, we would ask your consideration of passing that this evening. If council is not comfortable doing that, that's okay. We can wait until the September 21st. However, we are getting towards the end of paving season. We do have several repairs throughout the city, and having more time to get those scheduled with Morlock and potentially, fix those areas for our residents, that would certainly be a welcomed respite for us as we kind of race the clock here a bit. And that completes my report, subject to your questions.
Are there any questions for Ms. Tretter?
Laura, could you tell us the number that's been assigned to that Morlock resolution?
It's 8867.
8867.
Or accurately, will be 8867.
Will be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, let's see, looking around the chambers, it looks like Mr. Marsh. We'll report from Mr. Marsh. And unless I've missed someone, that is it for official reports. Are there any council committee reports this evening?
Mr. President, I'd just like to announce that there will be a Finance Committee meeting on Monday, October 19th, or at 6 p.m. That's the 6 p.m. before our second meeting in October. I'll publish an agenda in advance, but I just wanted to give a heads up.
Okay. Thank you very much. Kay, would you lead us in the reading of legislation?
Yes. Legislation for first reading. Resolution number 3776 for first reading. Resolution transferring previously appropriated funds.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette,
I move to suspend the rules and give Resolution 3776 its second and third reading.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Kay, could you call the roll?
Hollenbaugh,
Yes?
Leontis,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
and Harold.
Yes.
Okay, the rules have been suspended to give, well, we just gave it its second. and third.
No, that was just
That's
first.
next.
Oh, okay. The rules have been suspended.
Resolution number 3776 for second and third reading. Resolution transferring previously appropriated funds.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
I move to adopt Resolution 3776.
Second.
Second.
All right, properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Kay, could you call the roll?
Leontis,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh.
Yes. So, resolution 3776 is adopted.
Ordinance number 8865 for first reading. Ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2020 and ending December 31, 2020.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
I move to suspend the rules and give Ordinance 8865 its second and third readings.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Kay.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Leontis.
Yes.
All right, the rules are suspended for ordinance 8865.
Ordinance number 8865 for second and third reading. Ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2020 and ending December 31, 2020.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
I move to adopt Ordinance 8865.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Kay, could you call the roll?
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Leontis,
Yes.
Phipps.
Yes.
Right, ordinance 8865 is adopted.
Ordinance number 8866 for first reading. Ordinance eliminating fund numbers 5226, 5336, and 5338 as no longer necessary for municipal budgeting and accounting purposes, removing Chapter 53 of the codified ordinances regarding gas service, and amending and adopting Section 35.17 of the codified ordinance of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio regarding funds. Ordinance number 8867 for first reading. Ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to enter into a contract with Morlock Paving without advertising and bidding and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
I have a question for Lori about this. Lori, normally we're very cautious about going to bid with amounts that are in excess of our limit of 50,000, I believe it is. And the explanation was given, it was quite clear in your very well put together legislative packet letter. But since you are requesting that we suspend the rules, could you take a moment to explain why this is different than usual, where we've already gotten some estimates and so forth?
Sure. We did receive quotes from 3 local contractors for the concrete repairs. And then we also received quotes for the asphalt repairs. So once we put that all together and did an analysis of who could provide the services in time, that's why we're recommending that we go with Morlock. The background a bit is that we, over the years, have gotten behind on some of our repairs. So our utilities department will go out, they'll make various repairs throughout the community. And the plan is it's typically to keep up with the repairs. That hasn't happened in all cases. And so some of those repairs, you know, sewer laterals or places that we've had to dig in an emergency situation or even scheduled work, breaks, so forth. They've piled up. And when we've looked at the totality, you know, that really impacts folks that, you know, when it's your yard, it's your driveway, it's your sidewalk, et cetera. And so utilities has decided that they really want to catch up. And so the proposal is to do, a couple, get them done this fall before the winter hits, budget for the next, and then from there on to keep up with them so we don't get in this situation.
And that certainly explains the need for spending the money now. And as far as the deviating from the usual process, what we have in this situation is somewhat unique in that we've already had some estimates that have come back.
Right. I think that, Brian O'Connell is not here to fill in the blanks, but they were looking at a couple different things, again, do you piecemeal it together? Do you do it all as one? And so they were getting quotes, and then the ability to put it all as one, get it under contract, and most importantly, get it done this year before the asphalt plants close, propelled this recommendation. And you're right, it is unusual for us to do this. I also don't know that they anticipated it'd be over 50,000. Sometimes you do get in a quoting situation where you're not quite sure, but as you get things together and then you start to realize, goodness, we could have impact this whole ward. We could get all of this done. We can make a positive difference that it's worth a request and a consideration of city council to deviate from our usual process.
Thank you, Laurie.
Thanks.
Mr. President,
Mr. Leontis.
I'd like to ask Bill, thank you for asking that question, by the way. I was also thinking about some of those same questions, but are you comfortable now if we move ahead with that legislation?
I was comfortable before, but.
Okay,
yes.
all right, great. Then I would like to move that we suspend the rules for ordinance 8867 and give it a second and third reading.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Okay, could you call the roll?
Roland,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Leontis,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette.
Yes.
Okay, the rules are suspended for ordinance 8867.
Mr.
Ordinance
President,
number 8867 for second and third reading. Ordinance authorizing the utilities director to enter into a contract with Morlock Paving without advertising and bidding and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Leontis.
I move that we adopt ordinance 8867.
Mr. President?
We need to
I
do the
believe we
emergency
should-
clause first.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
If you,
please, we need to have an emergency clause on that.
I move that we adopt an emergency clause and I guess, yeah, that's it.
second.
Properly moved and seconded. Kay.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Leontis,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland.
Yes.
All right, now we adopt.
Now we can adopt this. Okay, I move that we adopt ordinance 8867, having declared the emergency.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Okay.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Leontis,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 8867 is adopted.
Ordinance number 8868 for first reading. Ordinance accepting an easement from Mohammed Kamaluddin and Syed Ahmed for utility purposes. Legislation for second reading. Resolution number 3774 for second reading. Resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Resolution number 3775 for second reading. Resolution authorizing the City of Bowling Green to participate in the Local Park Improvement Grant Program and to file an application and accept grant funding upon grant application approval.
Mr. President, I move we suspend the rules and give ordinance 3775 its second and third reading. And I ask if we need to do the emergency clause also on this.
No, it's a
No.
resolution. It'll go into effect immediately
Okay.
upon signing.
Mr.
And it's
President,
this third reading that we need to do, not two, second and third.
I second the motion to give it its third reading.
Okay. It's been properly moved and seconded. Okay.
Leontis,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh.
Yes. All right, the rules have been suspended for resolution 3775.
Resolution number 3775 for third reading. Resolution authorizing the City of Bowling Green to participate in the local park improvement grant program and to file an application and accept grant funding upon grant application approval.
Mr. President,
Ms.
I move
Rowley.
to adopt Resolution 3775.
Second.
All right, it's properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay,
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbach,
yes.
Leontis.
Yes.
All right, resolution 3775 is adopted.
And there is no legislation for third reading.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold,
I move that we excuse John Zanfordino from tonight's meeting.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Councilman Zanfordino is excused. Is there any other business to come before council? I would like to make a short comment. Back in May, when businesses began to reopen, it was made quite clear that for businesses to successfully reopen, that people would have to be vigilant, be careful, wear masks was recommended. Later in July, we passed a mask ordinance here in town. I understand that with this going on for months and months now, that people are becoming very weary of wearing masks all the time. And I've noticed over the past month that people maybe have become a little bit sloppy in that department. I would just encourage everyone with fall coming and the cooler weather, which not only will bring normal cold and flu season along with our COVID situation, but also drives people inside to get out of the cold weather, which would also be encouraging the spread of illness, that everybody hang in there and continue to be vigilant, and hopefully we can push through this until there's a vaccine available. So, that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
Okay.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Well, we're adjourned anyway.
4 to 1 still works, right?
I think so. I think we're good.